Steve, looks like it's a very nice day to celebrate things out there in Cincinnati, and you got a lot of O's fans who are now on the road with you as well to take these games in.
It's been really fun to see on the streets of Cincinnati, around the ballpark, and I was at the Reds Hall of Fame yesterday, which is a pretty sensational thing they have here at Great American Ballpark, and Oriole fans are showing up, man. They were loud and proud in Wrigley Field, and they're doing it here in Cincinnati as well. And as you showed the standings, I mean, it's exciting to have. It feels like a big game today. The Orioles got to win this series, right? They're 3 back of the final playoff spot, and you know, in recent seasons we weren't having any such thoughts. So it's a nice change in Birdland. It's got the clubhouse excited. It's got the fans excited, and we see fans here. A lot of orange has been in Cincinnati this weekend and behind the Oriole dugout. And this morning, Austin Hayes threw some props to those fans showing up on the road in places like Cincinnati.
I'm humbled by the blessings I've received from this team, this organization, and the community here, and the support that I've had from the fans, especially these last few years, is really tough, but they've stuck with us, and you know, we're really starting to see how great of a fan base this is now that we're starting to win some games again. And I mean, you look here, we're in Cincinnati, and it was probably half Orioles fans last night. So it's a great fan base, and you know, they've stuck behind us through the tough times. So just want to give something back to them.
So that's pretty cool, you know, and the fans have been great here. They were great in Wrigley Field, too. So we'll see what Texas holds. Maybe there'll be some fans coming out there tomorrow night. But Austin Hayes put on his Twitter, and I'm going to write more about it. I know we're going to have more coming up down the road about a scholarship he's doing for students in Maryland, only for Maryland students, and we'll have more about that coming up. He put it on his Twitter today. If you follow Austin on Twitter, you can access that. So he wants to give back to the fans, and certainly the fans are giving to the team here in Cincinnati with their cheering.
And, you know, they've gotten to see some stellar plays. Austin Hayes with one I think we all agreed we hadn't really ever seen before, as he played this perfect ricochet off the wall. He's been a leading charge in the Orioles defense this year. They continue to get sharper as they go, which you might expect, especially again after such a rushed spring training this year. But those numbers dropped drastically, almost in half from June to July in errors committed this month. It's been a while since they've had a multi-error game after they had several April, May, and June. But I mean, Steve, they just get it done on all facets right now.
You have to have all facets to win in this division, Melanie. We know that. And I mean, the defense has just been there from the start this year for the Orioles. You know, it's not the old school days anymore. We don't just look at fielding percentage. In fact, this team isn't great in fielding percentage, but in some of the defensive metrics, they are. Defensive runs saved and things like that. And it's throughout the diamond, which is great. And then, of course, Adley Rutschman came up here to put the cherry on top. He's playing such great defense. We were talking with Brandon Hyde today about his incredible framing, especially the low pitch. He can go down and get that ball and bring it into the strike zone. He's buying his pitchers some strikes. He's calling a good game. He's starting to throw better and better as he gets further removed from his injury issue of earlier this year. An outfield assist for Santander. We know what Hayes can do. Cedric Mullins' throwing is better than ever. He's throwing more accurate and with more velo on the ball than he has in years. So all this is good, and all this is contributing to a team that's a winning team at this point in the season.
You mentioned Adley Rutschman, and of course he is leading the way for this pitching staff. And really it's been unique to get inside of his mindset, but it also guides you to the next question of who is a member of this Orioles rotation. Kyle Bradish is back up, but you've got a lot of fans still waiting to hear DL Hall's name, and we can't forget that Matt Harvey is right there as well.
They've got depth at AAA. They've got Bruce Zimmerman there. They've got some others they can look at, too. They've been stretching out Mike Baumann in some outings. So it's going to be interesting. When is the team ready to pull the trigger on DL Hall? And, I mean, Mike Elias isn't calling me, Mel, but I know this. I mean, DL, his command is inconsistent. And I don't think another 2 or 3 weeks at AAA is going to make it from inconsistent to consistent. So he's going to have nights there and here when he gets here, when he walks 5 or 6, but he's also going to have those nights when he's lights out and dialed in, and you just hope he has more of them. So he's driven. He's got AAA time under his belt now, so I think when the Orioles are ready to pull that trigger, he will be ready to rise to the challenge, and I think he's got the makeup and the mindset to handle big major league games late in the year. I think this kid wants that. Give me the ball against the Yankees with something on the line And that's what you want, right? You want a talented kid, but you want a kid who doesn't back down from the competition. That, to me, is DL Hall.
He's been very vocal, to say the least, about what he thinks that he's going to bring to the game. But for now, we're going to give the ball to Austin Voth for today. Steve, we know you got a lot to get to.